Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Pattsun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/divorce, where OP's wife had a drunken tirade during a party. Let's begin. I'm in a sexless relationship with my girlfriend of 6 years. Posted by a throwaway Reddit account.
We met online through a mutual enjoyment of sci-fi and video games. After chatting for a few weeks, we found out we only live about 20 miles apart from one another, so decided to meet up for a meal. We hit it off straight away. She's very pretty and such a wholesome, caring person. After around half a year, we decided to get together officially. We've been together for 6 years now and I do truly love her. However, our intimacy doesn't go beyond hugging or kissing. This is her first relationship, and she has never had sex before. So I can understand her nerves around the whole thing. I've brought up the idea of us taking it further a few times. However, she always says no. She doesn't know if she wants that yet. Naturally, I've always respected her boundaries and not tried to push it any further. With the above being said, over the past few years I've started to get self-doubts in my own head about whether she loves me or not. I've tried to ask her about it. However, she always just shrugs it off with the same replies, I don't know. In the future. Not right now, sorry. I don't feel comfortable yet. Naturally, after 6 years of being together, it's quite upsetting to hear her say she's not comfortable enough to be intimate with me. This really sits heavy in my mind and upsets me a lot. I really love this girl, but I don't want to be in a sexless relationship, and it's now gotten to the point where it's just completely awkward to even bring it up or think about it. I also don't want to appear pushy or make her feel pressured into it either. I tried telling her how I feel, and she just said she's sorry, and the conversation didn't go any further than that. I'm just at a bit of a loss with it all now. I feel miserable, not because of the no sex part, but mostly because she said she doesn't feel comfortable to be intimate. TLDR, I have been in a relationship for 6 years and my girlfriend doesn't want to go beyond hugging and kissing. She's reluctant to talk to me about why, and it's upsetting me a lot. I'm just not really sure how to go ahead from here. Edit 1. Just for clarification, neither of us are religious, so it has nothing to do, as far as I'm aware, with religious beliefs. Edit 2. She has told me she is a virgin and I trust her in that regard.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
She has never mentioned being abused in the past. I believe she has a libido because she enjoys to talk with her friends about fanfics that are definitely not safe for work. Edit 3. I've asked her in the past if she's asexual, to which she said no. She comments on her appearance a lot and believes she's not good looking and overweight, despite me telling her often that she's not and she's attractive, but it doesn't seem to mean much to her. Edit 4. A lot of comments are saying about how she doesn't love me. She tells me often that she loves me. The comments about I don't know, in the future, I don't know, etc. are all when I ask her about having sex. Edit 5. I think for her it boils down to body dysphoria. Reading comments below about other people expressing their feelings, it looks very similar to how she feels. This is a bit hurtful to think that she's scared I would judge her in any way whatsoever for how she looks. I've told her plenty of times I'm attracted to her, but she always talks negatively about her body.
OP, you have been in a relationship with this woman for 6 years, and you've been miserable the entire time.
Why are you still here?
It's not that she has low libido or the other bullshit excuse you keep spewing. She just doesn't want to have sex with you. Plain and simple. For short, she's probably fucking someone else, while you are stuck as the poor sucker that pays the bills. I don't believe for a damn second that she's a virgin and has never had a relationship before. In today's modern society, no way in hell. It's time to cut your losses and move on, OP. And now for today's second story. I'm having a hard time forgiving my wife. Posted by Reddit user halfcat.
Hi everyone, my wife and I have been together for 4 years, married for 2. I'm looking for some perspective on our relationship, as I've recently been having a hard time seeing her the way I once did. I should preface this by saying we're starting couples therapy next week, and we both seek individual therapy as well. We have no kids, no debts. I also posted this in r/marriage earlier this week. The incident at hand happened a few months ago. We were at a very casual event with guests who were staying with us. I wasn't in a super positive mood and let her know socializing was going to be challenging for me, but I was going to do my best not to bring the mood down. This event also happened to be sponsored by several alcohol companies, so there was free alcohol everywhere. She let me know she was irritated by my attitude and told me I should be having fun. I told her I would try my best and we left it at that. 2 hours passed and I had been quietly enjoying myself while she was with her 2 friends, me just sort of tagging along. I chose not to drink because I'm typically the designated driver and I don't love the feeling of being drunk. She and her friends were taking advantage of the free alcohol, but she was drinking more than them. We ran into a few of my friends and coworkers who were also at the event. I continued to try and make the best of it, not saying anything overtly negative or positive. My wife had made a few jabs calling me boring. One of her friends overheard this and was visibly uncomfortable with the whole situation. Another hour passes and my wife is very drunk. She was apparently festering and really laid into me in front of our guests and my friends. She told me just about every combination of fuck you and go fuck yourself, made a deal of letting me know how I was doing a poor job at having fun, threw her gloves at me, and stormed off. I followed her and returned her gloves, because it was only a few degrees above freezing. I've never been one to raise my voice. I know how much even speaking to her in a harsh tone can hurt her feelings, so I calmly listened as she talked and heard she was upset because I wasn't having fun or joining in with her. It was honestly a little challenging to follow her train of thought, but I did what I could to validate her feelings. I took her home and came back to collect our guests, who shared an awkward silence with me as we drove. We talked the following day, and I received crocodile tears. She apologized and said she didn't remember. I left it at that. I've been doing my best to get over it, and I thought I had until a friend of mine asked me how our marriage was going, about a week ago. I told him what happened and it felt like reliving the moment. I didn't even know this feeling was that deep inside me. I later talked to my wife about it, and she was surprised I hadn't just gotten over it yet. I told her how much it truly hurt me and how disrespected I felt by how I was treated. The conversation quickly turned into her feeling called out and how unfair it was I've been holding it over her head, which is something I genuinely feel like I have not been doing. Now, I'm realizing this wasn't an isolated event. These types of explosions have happened throughout the course of our relationship, and I've always had the mindset of being quick to forgive. However, I'm having a very hard time looking past this. I don't know how I can see my wife for who I thought her to be prior to this weird type of realization. I feel like my blinders have been knocked off. This type of thing has happened on more than one occasion, to varying degrees. I would be thankful to hear from anyone who has come to a situation like this, where you can't unsee something your spouse has done. My perspective of her feels so tarnished and I'm questioning our relationship. Thanks all.
OP, don't even worry about the gloves. Yes, that act could easily be interpreted as physical violence, especially if the genders were switched. But even without it, your wife is verbally abusive, disrespectful as hell, manipulative, an alcoholic, and has zero remorse. That is simply unacceptable, my friend. You need to run for the hills and never return before this escalates even further. Next, I want you to listen to this comment by Reddit user Dearpocalypse.
Acknowledge you are, in fact, calling her out. There is literally nothing wrong with that. It seems like a really one-sided relationship whose only beneficiary is her. She seems supremely immature and still stuck in an adolescent mindset. And that you are calling her out on her atrocious pattern of behavior. That she is way past the point of I'm sorry being good enough and you will no longer rug sweep this bullshit she is inflicting on you. Do all that at counseling though. It won't go well one-on-one. She seems to have some narcissistic tendencies.
Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.